Welcome to Hoodway's Radio, and this is your host, Daniel Hood, and you're about to listen to pre-recorded and live broadcasting. And if you want to find out more, please go to our website at www.hoodwave.org. Again, that is www.hoodwave.org.
Listening to WFNU 94.1 FM in St. Paul. Hey, this is Katey here, and I'm in the studio today with Daniel Hood of Hoodwave Radio. We're doing some training here, so we're just getting Daniel used to being live on air, because you're used to doing a podcast.
Yes, I am. Okay. I am used to a podcast.
So can you tell our live FM listeners a little bit about your podcast?
All right, it's a Hoodwave Disability Radio. And so, yeah, we're trying to help people with disabilities, trying to, change. That's my train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
It happens.
Yeah, so.
That's why we do training.
Yes.
So you're trying to change the way people with disabilities are viewed, or what is the change that you hope to see with your program?
What I want to do is I want to change what people think about people, how they view, how they think, and how we respond. And so now, believe it or not, I actually have an online station running. I only got 3 things going right now. And so I need to find more...
content?
More content. Thank you. Yeah, so that is exactly what we need. I'm trying to find more people to help us out. It doesn't make a difference. Volunteers, teachers, even special education teachers, anyone who's in that field, I wouldn't mind having to help in getting some feedback and some ideas on how we can get it going.
Very cool. So you're looking for anybody involved in the disability community to kind of come on your show or provide some content relating to disability issues or things happening in the disability community?
Well, not just that. It's also people's talents.
Oh, cool,
It's not just talking. I want to be able to, if say somebody has a comedy show, say that they're a musician. I'd like to being able to give them a chance to being able to have people hear, what they've made.
Very cool. So where can people find out about your podcast, and how can they get in touch with you?
Yes, this is it is Hoodwave. It's hoodwave.org. It's hoodwave.org, and that is www.hoodwave.org, and also, there's you can go to my site, on our site, and being able to look us up. We also have the Frogtown Community Radio. We have links to Connor's Corner. Believe it or not, we have a few lot of stuff going on there.
Awesome. So yeah, Daniel's show, Hoodwave Disability Radio, airs right now. It's pre-recorded, but it airs right now on Frogtown Radio Mondays at 11 a.m. right after Connor's Corner, and then it also airs hopefully live soon. As I said, this is a training here for Daniel in the studio, so he can get more comfortable running the board and being live on air, because it's much different than being at home in your studio, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it's definitely that.
How are you feeling about this?
I'm definitely going to need live practice.
Okay, well, I think you're doing great so far. You sound great, and you got the board going great. The levels look good, and I don't know. I think so far so good for your first on-air time.
Believe it or not, I wanted to go to school for this.
How come you didn't go to school for it?
Because, when you apply for, government programs. They'll tell you that's too much. So I've had that a lot because I wanted to be a roadie, setting up equipment and stuff like that. This is back in 1998. It was like $30,000. I can't imagine how much it is now.
Right, that's a lot to be a roadie to go to school, huh?
I mean, it was how to use the board, how to set it up. I mean, I actually went to a school that actually did that, and it was quite interesting. But when I went to vocational rehab services, I'm sorry, but it's just too much, and we just don't think it's feasible right now. That's kind of what they told me.
They didn't think that you would be able to make a career in radio.
That is exactly right.
Okay, well, this community radio is where a lot of radio professionals have gotten their start. So, as you know, nobody gets paid at community radio, but it's like a stepping stone to like larger commercial stations where people do get paid. So you're in the right spot for where you want to be. Right.
So it's I also want, like I'm doing, it's Hoodwave Live, and actually I got it going. It's running, and so I am able to get on and being able to broadcast. Even say that, well, for an example, this is just an example. If I had some software, I would be able to broadcast the same. When it comes to WFNU, I would be able to broadcast that same signal right to the internet.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, yeah, you can do it from anywhere.
Okay. So what are the things that you have on your very own online station right now?
Right now, it's basically 3 episodes of what I did with Connor's Corner.
Cool.
With Connor. So that's going. So I need to have a lot more content so that people will... the more we have, the more help I will get.
Yes, exactly. And is there a way on your online radio to see how many listeners you have or how many people visit your website or anything like that?
Not in the moment, but I can actually set that up. It's very simple.
Cool. Yeah, that would be, I bet you, helpful for you to be able to gauge how many people listen and, like, maybe when they listen or where the listeners are coming from. That way you get a better idea of maybe where to kind of market your station, whether it's like social, like Facebook or Twitter or word of mouth. Or do you have a Facebook page for Hoodwave Radio?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So people can go to Facebook and look up Hoodwave Disability Radio and they'd be able to find your page?
I also have a Twitter page.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, I got to follow you now. Okay, thanks, Daniel. I think you're doing a fantastic job. Anything else you want to talk about now that we are you're feeling comfortable on the mic?
Actually, one of the things that, my wife and I went to the Rosedale Mall, and we were just going around, and we were going to, purchase some food. There's no place to sit. It's terrible. I mean, and then when you do sit down, there is, obviously you're not sure if you should take off your mask. It's one of those. I think everybody's going through that thing. They want to being able to have a normal life, but it's tough to being able to know exactly because you don't want to get into trouble.
Right, but you also want to be able to enjoy yourself or eat something, drink iced coffee or something. And how are you supposed to do that if there's nowhere to sit at the mall or you don't know the rules, right? Is that what you're saying?
But I do understand why the governor is doing it. But I think they're a little tight. But I think we need to loosen up. But I think a lot of reasons. A lot of people don't follow procedures, and that's the reason why they're so tight anyway. So when people follow the rules, it's not kind of rules. Don't say procedures. It sounds better than rules. The more people that do that and follow it, the looser they'll be.
Yeah, I know that COVID has affected different groups of people in different ways. How is like the rules and just like quarantine or COVID in general affected you and your wife?
It's affected us a lot. I mean, it's really tough on relationships. It doesn't make a difference if you're married or not, but if you are, it's tough. I finally got a job, believe it or not. Got a job about 2 weeks ago, and I'm actually, that's kind of cool. I'm actually out doing something. That is helping. I haven't had my job for very long, but I realized that sitting at home doing nothing, I had to get out. We're driving each other crazy.
So you were both at home up until 2 weeks ago.
No, she was working too.
Okay.
But she wants me out of the house.
Yes.
So
you're both getting kind of under each other's skin there.
Yes.
So how do you guys deal with that when you're? I mean, do you go in separate rooms and just kind of do your own thing when you're getting irritated with each other, or what do you guys do?
I've been kind of disappearing in my computer, which she doesn't mind it. And then, you're doing this thing, and also because you are depressed, sometimes you're in your little world, and the fact that the other person wants your attention, then the other person's talking to you, sometimes it's like, what did you say? I mean, that's the other reason, but now that I'm working, if you have a job and you're working, it does help, but it will definitely need to work on trying to get the COVID, and hopefully it will turn around.
Do you know of, because I've heard, well, actually you did a great radio interview. You interviewed some people from Merrick, the day program, about when they were closed because of COVID and like the danger of closing day programs. And you interviewed some staff at Merrick, and then a person with a disability who had gone to Merrick, but when Merrick was closed, he couldn't go. And he had said during the interview that that was kind of like his family, the staff at Merrick and his friends there, and not being able to see them, was really tough on him. So I'm assuming that that's a pretty familiar situation for a lot of people who are in group homes or who go to day programs, where when things close down, they kind of lose their, number one, their paycheck, and then like there's their connection to other people, and they just feel isolated.
Right. I think the word I'm looking for is dignity.
Oh, dignity.
Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because then what do they, they don't really have
purpose.
Purpose, yeah, that's good, yeah. They don't have a purpose, or maybe they don't even have, like, control of, like, they can't leave their group home. They don't, like, have control of what they can do with their lives, because there's someone else telling them, you have to stay here, you can't go to work, you can't see your family, because we don't want you to bring back, COVID to the rest of the group home. So I'm sure that's difficult for so many people right now.
I could definitely relate.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel's interview of Merrick staff and the client is on hereiam.org, HEARIAM.org. And he did a fantastic job interviewing. I was just very impressed. You were like a journalistic news reporter. It's a really good job that you did.
That is actually interesting. It's a family friend. I believe it's a friend of my brother's. It's a relation from my brother's side of the family. Well, his wife's side of the family. Well, she sent me a text and saying that I'm a natural when it comes to it. I was like, what? I'm a natural? I guess when it comes to just storytelling, and I'm like, I guess the person have read a lot of the stuff I wrote on Facebook and finally told me, it's like, well, I had no idea. I mean, I've had people tell me, but I think you get it.
Yeah, you definitely are a natural, and I'm just always so impressed with you, because from the first time I met you, you said, which was, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, when you came into the station, the first thing you said is like you want to have your own radio station, and you want it to be 24/7, and you've done it. Like, you created this thing on your own, Hoodwave Radio. Like, you accomplished it. Like, so I am just so impressed. And you have, like, all these technical skills, like, and you have, like, I've seen the photos of your cool studio at your house. Like, it's just so awesome that, like, you had a goal and you had a dream and you just went for it. And especially since there's so many, like, barriers like in the way of you doing what you want to do, like financial barriers and, like, you know, not going to school for like a degree, but you were able to, like, learn things on your own and get the equipment on your own, get the studio built, and just do a really, really awesome job. I'm just very proud of you.
Yeah, as long as we got some time, I have a friend. His name was Tim. I went to high school with him, and he's actually a family friend from my parents. And I met him the first time. I think it was like 1992, and I was amazed what he can do. I mean, we ended up being friends, and so he gave me my first computer, and it was a Texas Instruments TI-984A. Okay. It's one with the cartridges and hook it up to your TV set. So that was my first, and so I was introduced, and also my grandfather, but my friend actually gave me my first computer. It was quite a thing. And then I had another computer, and then I had more than one computer. And basically, I've broken a lot of computers. I didn't mean like breaking them, but I'm talking the software. And so I've broken the computer on purpose to see what it would do. And my friend Tim, he finally went up to me and says, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to fix your computer I'm not going to fix your computer anymore. You're going to have to do it on your own because I'm sick and tired of fixing it." So after that, I got a little bit wiser and I kept it running.
But I'm sure you learned a lot in the process of what to do and what not to do and how to fix things technically. Yeah, so I've actually built a couple of computers. It's cool. Tough because with my vision, it's really, really tough. But I've done it. I can replace hard drives, software, hardware. So I can do it. Even Linux. Well, now Linux is an operating system that's completely different from Windows. It's freeware. And so... So when you say it's hard with your vision, do you have a poor vision, or? No, it's not really a poor vision. It's more psychological, I think. It's because of my disability, it's almost like a disconnection from how the brain functions. I'm not sure exactly, but I had some muscle. I think it's a muscle too. And also when I was a baby, I actually learned how to walk first, then I crawled. Oh wow! Because my upper chest and my upper body was so weak, I couldn't crawl and I couldn't lift myself up. So I started walking probably in 9 months, and I didn't start walking until I was actually like a year old. Oh, that's very interesting. It's very, very rare, but I walk first. Oh, cool. So you're a fast learner is what you're saying. Yeah. Very cool, Daniel. Well, I'm really excited for you to see how your online radio, Hoodwave Radio, grows, and to see all the connections that being on Frogtown Radio will hopefully get you for your station. And I'm excited for you to be live on air. I know it's a little nerve-wracking at first, but I can tell you're getting more comfortable already, and you have so many great things to say and such a different perspective than than maybe a lot of our programmers. So it's really nice to have you here, and I can't wait to have you in here more. Yeah. Well, when it comes to, obviously there's Connor's Corner, there's mine, there's there's other disability podcasts, but I don't think it's really gotten to the scale, the scale that I want to reach. I want to get to I want to be the first one to actually have a international radio station that's throughout the world. It's because I know there's a lot of money, and I know, well, for one thing, it's expensive, so you have to find different avenues. And I think that's the reason why a lot of organizations haven't done it, because, they're not really familiar. I've been doing a lot of research, and so
hopefully, if we get this off the ground, there's going to be other organizations that want to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's great. So if you're a person out there who would like to be on Daniel's radio station, and you don't have to have a disability to be on his station, Hoodwave Radio. If you have a talent or just are interested in being on radio and on Daniel's show, contact him at hoodwave.org, and we'll hopefully get connected, and you'll get more content for your show, and then you listener out there who's going to be on Daniel's show will get your message across and to a variety of people and platforms, because right now it's going 24/7. Your station, is that right?
Right.
Cool. Yeah, that's great.
It's on Audio DJ.
Audio DJ? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like what WFNU is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when you're not live, it plays whatever you have recorded or put on the server.
Cool. Great. Well, be sure to tune in to Daniel's show tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on WFNU, and coming up in a little bit here we're going to go back to some local music when we get off the mics here, and then at 3 o'clock you'll hear Just Right Now, Re-Entry with Queen. 5 o'clock is dinner music with Tony and Friends, and then be sure to stay tuned at 6 p.m. a very special show, The Lounge with DJ Chuck Smooth. And I know Mr. Smooth said this show is going to be fire, so stay tuned for that 6 p.m. tonight for The Lounge. Any parting words for the listeners?
Well, Christmas is coming around. I want to wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and Happy Holidays, depending on what you're celebrating. So just be safe and just enjoy your time.
Great, thank you. Well said, Daniel. I'll be listening tomorrow to your show.
All right. Oh yeah. So this is Hoodway Disability Radio, and this is WFNU Frogtown Community Radio, St. Paul.